Alright, well, hey there, guys. Welcome back to the Depression Session podcast. It is me, Weedman, coming at you guys with a solo episode this week. The other boys' scheduling just didn't really work out with the holidays and all that coming up. Speaking of which, tomorrow is going to be Halloween. So I hope you guys are having a very happy Halloween season, and I hope you guys stay safe out there, get lots of candy, spook some people, get drunk, however you choose to do Halloween. I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. Now, with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and hop into the discussion point of this podcast, which I've decided that I'm going to make this one about work. Now, I know that seems like a rather general and open-ended topic, but I think it is an important topic to talk about when it comes to work and working, because it's an important part of life and it's something that everyone has to do, and beyond that, it is something that I think that everyone should do, because working, at least from my point of view, work gives you purpose, work gives you something, it makes you contribute to society, and overall it's just good for your mental health and well-being. So that being said, the first little bullet point I have written down for work is what I've been doing. So currently I am a server at a restaurant. I'm not going to say which restaurant, just for privacy reasons, but it is a restaurant. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being a server. It's fun talking to the guests and getting better at social interactions. And I'm learning a lot when it comes to like multitasking and mainly just like social interaction, because as a server, you have to always be polite. You have to always be happy. You have to always remember every single little goddamn thing about a table, or else they will get so mad at you. So as frustrating and as stressful as it can be, because it is stressful, you're on your feet for the entire shift, table after table after table. And some people tip a lot, some people don't tip at all. And on the nights it's slow, you make nothing. But on the nights it's busy, you make bank. So that's part of the reason I enjoy it, is because I can do like a 4-hour shift and make like $100 in tips on top of my hourly. So I enjoy it. Other things I've been doing for work, primarily just this podcast. This podcast and content, I consider it my work, and it's not my job, mainly because, well, obviously I don't make money off of it, but I'm also trying to have it not be a job as long as it can be, because I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun with it. I want it to keep making me fulfilled. But it is something that I do consider work. And it's something that I treat kind of like a job. I always make sure I get a podcast out on Monday. I always make sure a Wednesday video is going up, a Friday video is going up. I treat this thing like a genuine job, and I always make sure that everything's on time, on schedule, as much as I can. And so far, I've kept up with it. As far as I remember, there's only been one episode that was late by, I think, like 2 or 3 hours, and that was simply because I started the upload Saturday night, because I wasn't going to be home Sunday or Monday. Or I wasn't going to be home all day Sunday, and then I wasn't going to get home Monday until like 12 when the video was supposed to be up. So I was like, I'll just get it uploaded. I'll get it uploading Saturday night, and then it'll for sure be done. And at some point, my computer decided to just disconnect from the internet, and so it stopped at like 91% or something. So that video was up, I think, like 3 hours late or something. But other than that, every video's been on time, and I'm very proud of that. The next bullet point I have is different ideas I have to work/make money. So right now, the main idea that I have and that I'm working on is this podcast and content. I would really love it if this would be something I could do full time and something I can make a living off of. It's my dream. It's my passion. You know what I mean? I've literally always had it since I was a kid. I talked about this a little bit in a past podcast. Where I talked about like the Yogs cast and how when I was like 8 or 9, I got introduced to YouTube and absolutely fell in love with it and started making videos on a shitty little camcorder I had. And then when I got my first phone, I started actually uploading videos on my oldest channel. And then it slowly just kind of progressed and kept going. And this is what I'm doing now, this podcast with my boys. And I'm very, very grateful for it and very thankful for it. Some other ideas I have is a window washing business. I've worked a little bit on that. I need to get back into it. It's just advertising is kind of a bitch right now, with inflation and gas and all that. So I don't really have the money to advertise as much as I would like. But I'm definitely going to be getting back into it really, really soon, because you can make really good money off of it. Each window job, the first one I had, I think I got 150 for. The next one I think I got 200 for like an afternoon's worth of work, something like that. It was a couple hours for both jobs. And obviously it does depend on the job you get, how many windows, how many screens, if they want inside and out, and all of that. And obviously you do still have the normal customer service issues you have, where people are picky, or people are trying to get a good deal, or whatnot. But you just kind of learn how to navigate that as you do it. I've done window washing a lot in my life. I started doing it like I think when I was like in junior high or something. I did it all the way through high school just to get some money on the side, do some stuff with friends, buy snacks and shit at school. So it's nothing I'm new at. It's just a matter of paying for the advertisement and getting the actual jobs. I did it a little bit last month, I think, is when I had the two jobs. And then I got a little boost of money, and then I just got busy with other shit and just kind of put it on the side. I really do need to get back into it, and I am going to get back into it. Money's just a little bit tight right now because my job's been slow, so I haven't been getting as much tips. But thankfully, that does seem to be turned around. So the next point I have is why I want more money. Now, I know everyone wants more money. Everyone always wishes they had more money, an infinite amount of money. You know what I mean? And although I know that money doesn't buy happiness, and I truly believe that because it doesn't. It doesn't buy happiness, but it can alleviate a lot of the stuff that causes stress. You know what I mean? So like if you have enough money to buy a good car, you don't have to worry about your car giving out. If you have a lot of money, you don't need to worry about gas. You don't need to worry about rent or food or anything. So even though it doesn't buy happiness, it for sure can relieve a lot of stress. And also I want more money to be able to upgrade my computer setup and the content setup and the podcast stuff just to bring you guys better videos and better content. Other things I would like to do with money is I want to buy my older brother his dream car. I guess dream van. I guess he wants one of the really old school VW buses. And I really want to be able to buy that for him and gift it to him. I also would be able to pay back my parents for some of the stuff. Well, I mean, that's the wrong way of wording it. I want to give my parents money just as a thank you for raising me and being so good to me and giving me opportunities and just supporting me. I mean, because they've been very supportive of everything I've done, and I'm very, very thankful for it. And so if I could just give them some money back, I think that would be nice. And I know that there are people that are like, oh, well, they're your family. That's their job. You know what I mean? They signed up for it when they had you. And although that is technically true, that doesn't stop me from wanting to pay them back and give them a little thank you. You know what I mean? And also it'd be nice if I could give them money to like travel and stuff. You know what I mean? I think I just it's something I've always wanted to do is just really give back to them because they've done a lot for me and I've really always really been thankful for it. I also would like more money just to have passive income and not have to have a 9 to 5, not have a job that I have to be at. Just have the freedom. You know what I mean? I really just want to be financially free. That's like the biggest thing for me. And it always has been. I just haven't worked on it as hard as I should because I've been fucking around and doing a bunch of other shit. And see, because here's the thing. I want financial freedom. Don't get me wrong. But I want to do it with something that I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Because enjoying life and living life has always been my top priority these past couple years. Because when I was younger, I was always like, okay, well, I gotta work to make money, and so I did that. And although I liked it, it wasn't fulfilling, and I got tired of that. And so I started just working on things that fulfilled me, art and music and skateboarding and content and all of that. And it made me genuinely happy. It made me a better person. And so if I can make money and become financially free through those means, then that's how I want to do it. Now, obviously, I understand that all that stuff is kind of a shot in the dark and a 1 in a million chance, and not everyone can make it. And so I've kind of decided that if I hit 25 and there's absolutely nothing going on with any of this, I'll just get a trade job, probably like a plumber or electrician, or maybe go work on like a road company, building roads and shit. I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, I'm still going to do other things before I'm 25 to like move out and stuff and get on my own. I'm trying to do that literally as soon as I possibly can. It's just hard right now. So I just need to work harder on it and get better at focusing and not wasting so much time. Because honestly, I've been wasting so much time recently just on like social media and shit, just scrolling through Instagram. I had a really good handle on it a couple months ago, but just slowly over time, I kind of got back into it. Now it's to the point where I'm like checking Instagram and watching reels and TikToks, like not 24/7. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but it's still a lot more than I would like. So I think if I could just kind of focus up more and work more, I'd be able to move out sooner. And the next question I've kind of already answered is what work gives me purpose? I've already answered that. It's content and music and art and skateboarding and all of that. But I guess to be a little more specific, it's just creative things. Just being creative and building things and making things. I absolutely love that feeling of making something, standing back and looking at it and just seeing it completed. Like to me, that is what life's all about. That is literally the best feeling in the world to me. And so that's the stuff that gives me purpose, is just being creative and building things. I also want to be able to make people feel better and give them solace and give them some entertainment and give them something that they can look at or watch that makes their hard day a little bit better, you know? So the next two questions are kind of go together. It's how much I want to work and how much I do work. So currently, how much I work. I work at the restaurant 2 to 4 days a week, depending on the schedule. My schedule changes, so it varies. And then in terms of the podcast, like I said, I spend as much time as I possibly can doing it. Not as much as I used to. There was a fat minute that literally the only thing I was doing was working and editing and the gym. But that's neither here nor there. But I probably like 10, 15 hours a week editing. At least that's what the number used to be. I don't really know what it's like now, just because I've gotten faster with editing. I can typically crank out the podcast and the Friday videos quicker now. Because it used to be they would take me a while to edit just because I was relatively new to editing. Like, I did have some experience from my past YouTube ventures, but nowhere near the amount that I have now. Like, I think I've logged in like 350 hours on my software editing since I started this podcast. So over the past almost year, I've spent over 300 hours editing for this podcast. Now, how much I want to work more. I really do. If I could spend every single waking moment I was awake, working and building things and creating things, I would. But unfortunately, that's not really how it works. I have other shit to do. Cleaning and laundry and eating and sleeping and girlfriend and friends and all of that. Because as much as I would like to just work, it's not really healthy to do. And I recognize that and I realize that. And so I purposely kind of slow myself down sometimes just so I don't get burnt out and go crazy. So next bullet point is how working affects my life. So like I said, working gives me purpose. It gives me something to do. It has had both a positive and a negative effect, because there has been moments where I was working too hard and not socializing and getting burnt out and all of that. And so those are the moments where work really has negatively affected me. However, I've gotten better about it over these past couple months. And I think it's at a point now where I have a pretty decent balance. I do think it's a little bit more tipped towards not working than working for my own personal taste, but I'm kind of chilling right now because I had a period like a month ago where I was just over fucking worked with everything and got stupid burnt out. So I've just been kind of taking it easy the last month. And I'm definitely going to be getting back into it here really shortly. All right. And then the last one that I wrote down is my goals for my work life. So like I said before, I really want to be financially free and I want to work every single second I can. But in terms of like my envision of it, what I want my perfect like work life to be, would definitely be just content and music, just creative things. You know what I mean? I feel like a broken record how much I've said that this podcast, but just creative things. I love it so much. I also think it would be cool to get the boys working on stuff more, just more editing stuff. Like they've already have been editing and recording and helping me and all that. Because this is a group effort, it is. And so I think it would be really cool if they can do a little bit more stuff, just as more personal to them. Add their little own touch and flair onto this project and this podcast. If I get myself to a point where I could just be financially free and just work on content and music and art and skating and just all the things that I love, my passions, if I could just get to a point where I could do my passions for work or do something else for money that allows me to do my passions as much as I can, I think that is like the ultimate work life, I think personally. All right, so that was the last topic. I know this podcast was really, really short, and I do apologize. Let me know what you guys think about this new format. I think I'm going to try doing this a little bit more, where I come up with a specific topic for a podcast and the discussion points about that topic, just to try to get this podcast a little bit better produced, a little more professional, you know what I mean? So it's not just so wing it and talk about whatever. Obviously, there's still going to be elements about that, because that's what I love about this podcast is the free nature of it, the free will of it. I think it's just fun to me. So I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Come back next Monday at 12 for another podcast. Come back this Wednesday for a Wednesday video. It's going to be my video. Come back this Friday for a gaming video. And like I said before, I hope you guys have a very happy and safe Halloween. I hope you get lots of candy, get drunk, do whatever it is that makes a Halloween good for you. I hope you can achieve it. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. You stay smart, stay healthy, stay happy. And remember that just like this podcast, depression is just a session, and it too soon shall pass. So I'll see you guys back here next Monday at 12. Goodbye.